Oh, God. Dang it. This is so frustrating. Oh, hey, I didn't see you there. I'm trying to choose something to watch on Netflix, and quite frankly, there's nothing to watch. I mean, my list has hundreds of things in it. I mean, quite literally, just hundreds of things, but I just can't seem to pick and choose anything. You know what? I wish I had the ability to put on, like a comedy channel or a channel that's like a network for cartoons or something that sounds like USA. I wish I had the ability to put on one of those channels and just let things play. And if there were commercials, so be it. I would let commercials happen. God, this is so frustrating. I mean, I wish we could do all of that and maybe charge me about 4 times as much as I'm paying for just Netflix by itself. This is ridiculous. I'm never gonna choose anything. I'm never gonna see. Ooh, Sonic Boom.
It's news time. Delivering to you the news you didn't know about, the news you didn't care about, and the news you didn't know you cared about. With host, Chad White. Now, here's that host, Chad White.
Welcome back to News Time. I'm your host, Chad White, and this is the mid-roll news that you didn't know about. That's right, Netflix is back with mid-rolls. Mid-rolls are basically just ads in the middle of TV shows and movies. Netflix announced that it was going to be doing mid-rolls at some point last year. It was going to announce a low-tier plan that would cost a certain amount of money, under $10, so that you could watch ads and pay less money, but also have the same experience as regular Netflix. Not really the same experience, because I think they only stream at 720p or something like that, but a lot of people aren't happy with the mid-rolls. Now, this comes from CNBC, written by Alex Sherman. Shonda Rhimes, along with a bunch of other people, are saying that the concept is not good. Netflix has told creators that it doesn't plan to share advertising revenue with them. And you're basically, if you're making a show for Netflix, you're just kind of opting in to the whole situation of mid-rolls. Or a lot of companies whose movies are on Netflix, like Disney or Warner, would actually want to split that revenue. First things first, you shouldn't get a mid-roll during a movie. It should just be a pre-roll, an ad that comes on before the movie. Second, I believe it is just for TV shows that it's going to air like a commercial break every 7 minutes or so. Netflix released its lower priced gold thing service. I don't know why service couldn't pop up in my head late last year, and they said that executives have told the creators that they thoughtfully placed mid-roll advertising at intervals that makes sense in the storyline. So if a show like Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, which I believe was written for NBC prior to being taken over to Netflix, has an ad break, and a lot of streaming shows do have ad breaks, like they just fade to black and fade back up, or just breaks in the storyline, really. They'll put in ads at that point in time. They're using internal tagging, which should bring natural points of break points. That's what the operating chief Greg Peters said in October. And a lot of people just aren't happy about it. And even if it costs you $7.99, those people, the creators of the shows, aren't seeing revenue, and B, they think it just kind of messes with the flow of the show. And those are the two biggest issues when it comes to Netflix's mid-rolls. Now, same thing with Netflix. BBC is going to be joining in the streaming race. This is written by Joseph Adelian at Vulture. The UK is going to get a BBC's networks over there on the iPlayer. Disney is the biggest name here in America, and yes, around the world, but BBC is basically the place to get all of your shows. You got Bluey, I May Destroy You, other shows like that. they're interested in the direct-to-consumer streaming part, but they're trying to take a more active role when it comes to streaming for TV shows. Over there in England, you're going to have to work with iPlayer if that's what you like, or you can do ITV or BritBox if you want the streaming portion. But right now, BBC is forcing everything onto iPlayer, iPlayer-like offering, and that's what they're going to be doing with that. Listen, that's all well and good, but streaming is still a dangerous game, especially when it comes to ads, and they're going to have to be tiptoeing some lines in order to make it comfortable for both the consumer and the business sense of it. In the end, the business sense is going to win out. Speaking of being in the end, why don't you subscribe and check out one of our other videos? Of course, you can head to the website cpluscomedy.com, where there are interviews with their favorite comedians. You can also follow us on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at cpluscomedy. Follow me on those platforms at Chad Black White. Listen to the podcasts, the Constitutionals podcast, This Week in Late Night, and LinkedIn Logs. Rate, review, subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. And you know what? I think I actually am going to check out one of these shows. Oh man, I'm lost again.